The stars burned cold above the Epsilon Verge system. For 20 years, human ships had fought here to keep the line. The Kavor Dominion came like a black tide, huge insect fleets that never stopped, never rested. Their ships looked like living shells, covered in sharp spines and glowing green veins. Every time humans pushed back, the Dominion sent more. Captain Laura Bennett stood on the bridge of the heavy cruiser Dawn's Edge. She was 38, tall, with short brown hair and eyes that missed nothing. Her crew called her the warrior queen behind her back. Not because she wanted crowns or thrones, but because when the fight got bad, she never ran. She stayed. She fought. And somehow the men and women under her command always found one more reason to keep going. Today the reason was running out. Sensors show 3 new hive clusters dropping out of jump, the tactical officer, Ryan Cole, said. His voice stayed calm, but his hands shook a little on the controls. That's 40-plus capital ships, plus escorts, plus the boarding lances. Laura looked at the main screen. Red dots filled half the display. The blue human icons looked small and lonely. Status of the colony transports, she asked. Last wave cleared the jump point 8 minutes ago, said Megan Ruiz, the communications officer. They're safe, for now. Laura nodded once. That was enough. The people on Epsilon Verge 4 would live another day. That mattered more than anything else. Bring us about, she ordered. Full burn toward the enemy center. Target the lead hive mother. If we crack that one, the rest might slow down. The ship groaned as engines roared to life. Dawn's Edge was old but strong. 3 kilometers of thick armor, heavy railguns, and missile bays that could empty in seconds. She had saved colonies before. Today she would try again. Kavor beams stabbed across the black. One grazed the cruiser's flank. Metal screamed. Lights flickered. Shields at 60% on port side, Ryan reported. We lost 2 missile tubes. Keep firing, Laura said. Don't stop until I say. The bridge shook with each hit. Crew members braced against consoles. A young ensign named Daniel Hayes threw up in his helmet. No one laughed. Everyone understood. Laura watched the tactical plot. The enemy was spreading out, trying to surround her. Classic Kavor move. They liked to trap ships like spiders wrapping flies. She smiled a thin, hard smile. Ryan, plot a suicide run on their lead hive mother. Straight through the formation. Make it look desperate. He looked up. Captain? Do it. The Dawn's Edge turned her nose toward the biggest Kavor ship. Engines flared white-hot. Warning! Klaxons wailed about structural strain. On the enemy side, the hive mother noticed. Its escorts moved to block. Green beams lashed out in walls of light. Laura's ship danced through the storm. Point defense guns spat fire. Missiles streaked away in bright lines. One Kavor escort bloomed into a silent explosion. Another lost half its shell and spun away, leaking green fluid. Distance to target, 10,000 kilometers, Ryan called. Arm all remaining warheads, Laura said. Nuclear and plasma, set for maximum yield. Megan's voice cracked over the comm. Captain, escape pods are ready. We can— No, Laura cut her off. Pods launch on my mark. Crew first, bridge crew last. She turned to her people. 20 faces looked back, scared, tired, but still listening. You did good, she told them. Better than good. Get to the pods. That's an order. They hesitated only a second. Then they moved. Men and women ran for the hatches. Laura stayed at the command station. She locked her mag boots to the deck. The Dawn's Edge screamed forward. The hive mother grew huge on the screen. Its shell pulsing, thousands of small drones launching like angry bees. 5,000 kilometers, Ryan said. He had not left his post. Ryan, go. He looked at her. His eyes were wet. Captain, go. He saluted once, sharp and correct. Then he ran. Laura was alone on the bridge now. Just her, the ship, and the enemy. She opened a channel to the fleet relay. Her voice stayed steady. "This is Captain Laura Bennett, Dawn's Edge. Epsilon Verge is clear. Colony ships escaped. The line holds for one more day. Tell my daughter I love her. Tell Command we gave them everything we had." She cut the link. The Hive Mother filled the entire screen. A boarding lance shot out. A long black spike wrapped in green energy. It aimed straight for the cruiser's bridge. Laura slammed the override. All remaining power went to engines and weapons. Dawn's Edge leaped the last distance. Impact. The boarding lance punched through armor like paper. Metal tore. Air howled out. Bulkheads crumpled. The bridge lights died, then came back red. Kavor warriors poured in, tall, six-limbed, covered in black plates. Their blades glowed. Their mandibles clicked. Laura drew her sidearm and the short combat knife from her thigh. She met the first one at the command chair. She fired twice into its face. It dropped. She stepped over it and met the next. Blade met blade. Sparks flew. She twisted, cut, ducked. Blood, hers and theirs, splashed the deck. More came. Too many. She backed toward the main console. Her left arm hung useless, broken by a glancing strike. Pain burned hot, but she ignored it. A huge Kavor warrior stepped forward, bigger than the rest, wearing a crown of glowing spines. An elite guard. It raised a long energy lance. Laura smiled through bloody teeth. "Come on then," she said. It lunged. She dodged barely. The lance grazed her side, burning flesh. She drove her knife up under its jaw. Green ichor sprayed. The warrior staggered. She fired her last rounds into its chest. It fell. Silence for a second. Then more warriors rushed in. Laura's vision blurred. She tasted copper. Her legs shook. The ship gave one last shudder. Power failed completely. Gravity flickered. Debris floated. She looked at the cracked view screen. The Hive Mother was burning. Her final strike had cracked its core. Secondary explosions rippled along its length. Good enough, she thought. A bulkhead collapsed behind her. A wall of steel and fire rushed forward. She raised her head one last time. The feed from her helmet camera cut to static. On human ships light years away, officers watched in silence as the icon for Dawn's Edge blinked out. The warrior queen was gone. The Kavor declared victory. They broadcast images of the broken cruiser across their hive networks. They said the human commander had died under the weight of their warriors. No body was recovered, but no one could have survived that. Humanity mourned. News reached Earth in days. Flags dropped to half-mast. Schools closed for an hour of silence. Children drew pictures of the tall woman who had saved so many. But far away, deep inside a living Kavor hive world, something stirred. In a dark gestation pod made of warm, pulsing flesh, a human heart still beat. Laura Bennett was not dead. Laura Bennett woke up slowly. Her head hurt. Her mouth tasted like metal and salt. Everything was dark. She tried to move her arms, but something held them tight. Thick, worn strands wrapped around her wrists and ankles. They felt alive, like ropes made of muscle. She pulled hard. The strands tightened in answer. She opened her eyes wider. A faint green glow came from the walls around her. The walls moved gently, like skin breathing. She was inside something big and round. A pod. A living pod. The air smelled wet and sweet, like rotting fruit mixed with machine oil. She remembered the last moments on the Dawn's Edge. The boarding lance, the fight, the collapsing bridge. She should be dead, but she was not. A soft hum filled the pod. It came from inside her head, not her ears. Words formed, slow and cold. Human female, you live because we allow it. Laura clenched her teeth. She did not answer. Stronger now. Your mind is strong. Your body is strong. We will learn from both. She felt a sharp sting at the base of her neck. Something thin pushed into her skin. Cold liquid moved through her veins. Her vision swam. Pictures flashed in her mind. Battles she had fought, orders she had given, faces of her crew. The Kavor were digging. They wanted her memories. They wanted her secrets. Laura fought back the way she knew how. She pictured walls in her head. Thick steel walls. She locked every door behind them. She sang old songs from basic training to fill the empty spaces. She counted backward from 1,000 by sevens. Anything to keep her mind busy. The probing stopped for a moment. Then it came back harder. Pain exploded behind her eyes. She bit her lip until she tasted blood. She would not scream. Not for them. Days passed, or maybe weeks. Time felt strange inside the pod. No sun, no clocks. Only the green glow and the hum. Food came through tubes. Thick, tasteless paste. Water followed. Enough to keep her alive. Nothing more. Her muscles grew weak from not moving, but her mind stayed sharp. She started to listen. The hum was not just one voice, many voices mixed together. Some sounded old and slow. Some sounded young and quick. They argued. They planned. They talked about the war. One voice stood out. It called itself Zorath 9. It spoke more clearly than the others. The old Overmind wants total end. All humans gone. No survivors, no mercy. Another voice answered, lower and angry. We bleed too much. Hives starve. Young queens die empty. The old way fails. Zorath 9 spoke again. This human knows new ways, fast ways, clever ways. She broke our formations at Kellis Prime. She saved her people at Verge. Study her. Use her. Laura stayed quiet, but she listened harder. The pod walls sometimes showed images. Flickering green pictures on the inside surface. Battles. Human ships exploding. Kavor losses. Numbers and strange symbols. Casualty counts. Laura could not read them all, but she understood enough. The Dominion was hurting, not winning as easily as they claimed. She started to test the pod. Small movements. Flexing her fingers. Twisting her wrists. The strands loosened a tiny bit when she stayed still for long periods. They tightened when she fought. So she learned patience. One cycle, she decided to call them cycles instead of days. The probing changed. Instead of pain, questions came. How did you hide your fleet at Orion's Reach? Why did you sacrifice the frigate group at Delta 9? What makes your people keep fighting when numbers say you lose? Laura gave no answers, but she asked one back, in her mind, clear and sharp. Why do you keep me alive? Then Zorath 9 answered alone. Because you are different. You do not break easy. The Overmind fears easy breaks. It wants to understand fear. It wants to understand you. Laura laughed once, short and rough. The sound echoed in the pod. Then tell your Overmind this. I will never help you kill my people. The walls pulsed. Green light flared bright, then dimmed. You may change your mind. More time passed. Laura grew thinner. Her hair matted against her scalp. Scars from the battle stayed red and angry on her arms and side. But her eyes stayed clear. She began to speak the Kavor words she heard. Simple ones first. Stop. Pain. Hunger. She repeated them until the pod understood. It rewarded her with less probing, more food, a little more room to move. She learned names. The Overmind was old, very old. It ruled from the center of the biggest hive world. It spoke through all queens, but some queens listened less now. Zorath 9 was one of them. young for a queen, only 300 cycles old. Her hive was small, but growing. She wanted more. She wanted change. One cycle, the pod opened a small hole. Air rushed in, colder and drier than before. A single Kavor drone entered, small, no weapons. It carried a flat device that glowed blue. Human tech, a salvaged datapad. The drone placed it on the floor in front of Laura. Then it left, the hole closed. Laura stared at the pad. It was cracked but working. She reached as far as the strands allowed. Her fingers brushed it. She pulled it closer with her foot. Then she grabbed it. The screen lit up. No password, just files, maps, battle logs, casualty lists in Kavor script and translated English. She read. The Dominion had lost 32 hive clusters in the last standard year, twice the number they admitted. Breeding worlds ran low on food. Young queens died before they could grow new ships. The war was eating the Dominion from inside. A message blinked on the screen, not from the Overmind. Human captain, you see now. We die slow, you die slow. Both sides lose everything if this continues. Laura looked up at the glowing walls. Zorath 9, she said out loud. The hum answered. Yes. Why show me this? Because you are a queen too. In your way you fight for your hive, I fight for mine. The Overmind fights only for itself. Laura closed her eyes for a moment. She felt tired, deep tired, but something else burned too. Hope? No, not hope, calculation. What do you want from me? A long pause. Knowledge, tactics, ways to hurt the old mind without breaking all hives. Laura opened her eyes. And what do I get? Freedom. For you, for your captured people, a chance to go home. Then at the walls. I do not trust you. Good. Trust is weak. I do not ask for trust. I ask for a deal. Laura thought about her daughter back on Earth, about Ryan Cole running for the pods, about Megan Ruiz's last look, about the colony ships that got away because of her. She spoke slowly. If I help you, the Overmind dies. Not your people, not mine, only the old mind. Yes, and you swear on your hive that my people go free? I swear on my lineage. Laura took a slow breath. Then we talk more, but not here, not like this. The strands around her wrists loosened, just a little. Soon, the pod said. Laura leaned back against the warm wall. For the first time since she woke up, she allowed herself a small, dangerous smile. The warrior queen was still alive, and she was starting to plan. The pod walls opened without warning. Warm air rushed out. Cold air rushed in. Laura blinked against the sudden light. Green lamps glowed along a long hallway made of smooth black shell. No doors, no windows, just the hallway stretching away. Two small drones waited outside. They had no weapons. Their legs clicked softly on the floor. One stepped forward and touched a strand still around Laura's wrist. It loosened completely. The other strands followed. She was free. She stood slowly. Her legs shook. Her body felt weak after so long in the pod. But she forced herself straight. She would not show weakness here. One drone turned and walked down the hallway. The other waited for her. Laura followed. Her bare feet felt cold against the shell floor. She wore only the torn jumpsuit from her ship. It hung loose now. She had lost weight. They walked for a long time. The hallway curved gently. Sometimes it split, but the drones always chose one path. Laura counted turns in her head. Left, right, down a ramp, left again. She wanted to remember the way back, even if it was useless. At last they stopped at a wide chamber. The ceiling was high. Thin green vines hung from it like curtains. In the center stood a raised platform. On the platform waited Zorath 9. The sub-queen was taller than Laura expected, almost 3 meters. Her body shone black and deep purple. 6 limbs moved with calm grace. Her head carried a small crown of glowing spines, smaller than the elites Laura had fought. Her eyes were many, small and bright, arranged in a half-circle. She did not look like the monsters in the old videos. She looked like something ancient and careful. Zorath 9 spoke out loud this time. Her voice clicked and hissed, but a small device on her chest translated it into clear English. "Welcome, Captain Bennett." Laura did not answer right away. She looked around the chamber. No guards, no weapons in sight. Just the 2 drones standing back near the entrance. "You moved me," Laura said, "away from the main hive. Yes, this spire belongs to my lineage. The Overmind watches less here. For now." Laura crossed her arms. "Why risk it?" "Because time runs short. The old mind grows more desperate. It sends more fleets. It breeds faster. It wastes lives. My hive loses sisters every cycle. Your people lose worlds. Both sides bleed." Laura stepped closer to the platform. "You showed me the numbers. I saw them. But numbers are not enough. I need more." Zorath 9 lowered her front limbs in what might have been a nod. A section of the wall lit up. Images appeared, sharp and clear. First, a map of Dominion space. Red zones marked dying hives. Yellow zones showed empty breeding pools. Blue arrows showed human counterattacks, pushing deeper every month. Next, internal messages. Queens arguing. Some wanted peace. Some wanted to double attacks. The Overmind's voice drowned them all. It demanded more. Always more. Then, a live feed. A small human prison camp on a border moon. Men and women in gray uniforms worked under Kavor guards. They looked tired, but alive. One face Laura knew. Ryan Cole. He was thinner, but he walked tall. He helped a younger prisoner carry a crate. Laura's throat tightened. She looked away for a second, then back. "They live," Zorath 9 said. "All of them. From your ship and others. The Overmind keeps them for study, like you." Laura turned to face the Queen fully. "What do you want from me?" "I want your mind. Not stolen, given. You know how humans fight when they should lose. You break patterns. You use small forces to hurt big ones. Teach me those ways. Help me cut the Overmind's control. Not with full war, with sharp cuts. Quiet cuts." Laura stayed silent for a long moment. "And after? After my hives withdraw, we leave your space. We take no more colonies. We release every human prisoner. You go home. Your people rebuild." Laura laughed once, short and bitter. "You think I believe that? I think you understand risk. I risk my entire lineage by bringing you here. If the Overmind finds out, my spire burns. My sisters die. My eggs never hatch. That is my risk. Yours is trusting an enemy." Laura walked a slow circle around the platform. She thought about Earth, about her daughter, now almost grown, about the line at Epsilon Verge, about how close humanity had come to breaking. She stopped. "I will not help you kill innocent Kavor. Only the Overmind and its loyalists. No queens who want peace. No young hives." Zorath 9's spines glowed a little brighter. "Agreed. We target only the old mind's core fleets and strongholds. Nothing more." Laura looked up at the tall Queen. "I need tools, maps, access to your systems. A way to plan without your drones watching every move. You will have them. A private node. Human-style interface. Weapons if you need them. But you stay under my watch. No tricks." Laura nodded once. "No tricks, but I keep my knife. And if you betray me, I will find a way to kill you before they kill me." Zorath 9 made a low clicking sound, almost like laughter. "Fair. I expect nothing less from the warrior queen." The next cycles blurred into work. Laura moved to a smaller chamber next to the main one. It had a low table, a chair built for human size, and a glowing screen that worked like any fleet terminal. She ate real food again, protein bars from salvaged human crates, fruit paste, clean water. Her strength came back slowly. She studied Dominion fleet patterns. She saw how the Overmind controlled every ship through direct links. No captain thought alone. Every move came from the center. That was the weakness. Small raids, fake signals, cut supply lines, make loyalist queens doubt each other, plant false orders, turn the Dominion against itself. Zorath 9 watched and listened. Sometimes she asked questions. Sometimes she argued. But she never forced. She let Laura lead. One cycle, Laura looked up from the screen. "Why do you want this so much?" Zorath 9 stood still for a moment. "Because I hatched knowing only war. My first memory is the Overmind's voice saying, 'Consume.' I do not want my daughters to know only that. I want them to know choice, growth, something more than endless hunger." Laura looked at her for a long time. "You sound like a human." "Maybe queens are not so different. We both protect our own." Laura turned back to the screen. She drew another line, a path toward the Overmind's flagship. "Then we start small. One test. One strike. If it works, we do more." Zorath 9's spines brightened. Agreed. Not the fire of hate. The fire of purpose. She was no longer just a prisoner. She was a commander again. She had an enemy who was also an ally. She had a plan. And for the first time since the fall of the Dawn's Edge, the warrior queen felt like she could win. The first test came fast. Laura sat at her small table in the quiet chamber. The glowing screen showed a Dominion supply convoy, 6 fat cargo ships, guarded by only 4 escorts. They carried food and eggs for 3 loyalist hives near the border. Zorath 9 stood behind her, silent. Laura pointed to a weak spot on the map. "Here, the lead escort has old sensors. It misses small signals. We send one of your scout ships close. Make it look like a human stealth drone. It drops fake distress beacons. The escorts chase. The convoy slows. Then we hit the cargo ships with targeted strikes. Not full attack. Just enough to burn the food stores. Loyalists blame each other for bad protection." Zorath 9 clicked softly. "Risky. If they trace the scout, they find my hive." "Then make sure they don't," Laura said. "Use stolen human codes. Make it look like my people did it." The queen thought for a moment. Then she agreed. 2 cycles later, the strike happened. Laura watched the live feed in the chamber. A single scout slipped through. Beacons lit up. The escorts turned to chase ghosts. The cargo ships drifted, slow and fat. Small attack drones, Zorath 9s, darted in. They cut open fuel lines and seed vaults. Green fire bloomed in silence. The convoy lost half its load. No ships died. No queens died. But the loyalist hives went hungry. Messages flooded the Dominion network. Accusations flew. One queen blamed another for weak guards. Another said the Overmind sent bad escorts on purpose. The old mind roared back, demanding answers. Punishments followed. One captain lost its command. A small hive got cut from supply lines. Laura leaned back. It worked. Zorath 9's spines glowed brighter. They doubt now. Doubt grows fast. More strikes followed. Laura planned them carefully. Always small, always clean. A relay station gone dark. A breeding pool poisoned with slow chemicals. A command ship that lost its link to the Overmind for hours. Each time, the blame landed on loyalists. Each time, cracks spread wider. Laura started to sleep better. She ate more. Her body grew stronger. She even asked for a place to train. Zorath 9 gave her a wide, empty room. Laura ran. She lifted weights, made from salvaged metal. She practiced knife moves against shadows. She needed to feel ready. She knew the real fight would come soon. One cycle, Zorath 9 entered the training room. She carried a long black case. Inside was a human-style pistol and a short blade, both made from Kavor tech, but shaped for human hands. "For you," the queen said, "when the time comes." Laura took them. She checked the pistol. It felt right. Balanced. Deadly. "Thank you." "Do not thank me yet. The Overmind knows something is wrong. It tightens control. It sends watchers to every hive. My spire is next." Then we move faster. They planned the biggest strike so far. A loyalist flagship, the Overmind's favorite, carried new command codes. If they took it, they could send false orders to whole fleets, make them turn on each other. Laura designed the boarding. Small teams, quiet entry. She would go herself. She needed to see it, feel it, prove she could still fight. Zorath 9 argued. "Too dangerous. You are the key. If you die, then find another key," Laura said. "But I do not sit while others bleed." The queen stared at her for a long time. Then she nodded. The operation started at the edge of a dead system. The flagship drifted near a repair station. Zorath 9's stealth ship moved in close. Laura wore black armor, patched from human and Kavor pieces. She carried the pistol and blade. 5 drones, small, fast, loyal only to Zorath 9, went with her. They cut through the hull like a knife through skin. No alarms, no guards at first. Laura led the way through dark corridors. The air smelled thick and sweet. Green lights pulsed along the walls. They reached the command core, a huge chamber. The flagship's mind link sat in the center, a glowing crystal wrapped in living wires. Laura placed charges from her pack, set for overload. Then the trap sprang. Lights flared bright. Warriors poured in from every side. Big ones, elite guards with long energy lances. The Overmind had known. Laura fired first. 2 shots. 2 guards dropped. The drones rushed forward. Blades flashed. Green ichor sprayed. Laura moved fast. Duck, roll, cut, shoot. Her side burned from an old wound that opened again. She ignored it. Zorath 9's voice came through a small earpiece. "They cut our link. I cannot reach you. Get out." Laura looked at the crystal. Charges ready. She slammed the trigger. Then she ran. The chamber shook. Warriors chased. One caught her leg. She twisted, drove her blade into its eye. It screamed. She pulled free. She reached the breach. The stealth ship waited. Drones covered her. 2 died. She jumped inside. The hull sealed. Engines roared. They pulled away as the flagship bloomed with fire behind them. Back in the spire, Laura collapsed on the floor. Blood ran down her arm. Zorath 9 knelt beside her. A medical drone sprayed sealant on the wounds. "You got the codes?" Laura asked. "Yes. False orders already sent. 3 loyalist fleets turn now. They fight each other." Laura smiled through pain. Good. But the victory lasted only a short time. The Overmind spoke across all hives. Its voice filled every chamber. Cold, angry, final. "Zorath 9 is traitor. Her spire harbors the human. All hives loyal to me. Attack. Burn her lineage. Bring me her head and the warrior queen alive." Zorath 9 stood still. Her spines dimmed. It knows everything. Laura pushed herself up. "How many ships come?" "Maybe more. They will arrive in 3 cycles." Laura looked at the screen. Red dots closed in fast. "We cannot run. Not enough ships." "No." Laura walked to the window. A clear shell that showed the black outside. Stars burned cold. "Then we fight here. One last time." Zorath 9 turned to her. "You can take a scout. Escape. Go home. I will hold them as long as I can." Laura shook her head. "No. I started this with you. I finish it with you." The queen clicked softly. "Why?" "Because some things matter more than going home. Your people deserve a chance. Mine too. And the Overmind needs to die. Zoroth 9 lowered her head. Then we make our stand. They spent the next cycles preparing. Laura trained the drones and any warriors who stayed loyal. She set traps in the spire corridors. Mines, false walls, choke points. Zoroth 9 moved her eggs to deep vaults. She armed every sister who could hold a weapon. Laura stood on the command platform. She wore full armor now. Pistol at her side, blade in hand. She looked at Zoroth 9. If we lose, we will not speak of losing, the queen said. We speak only of what comes after. Laura nodded. After, your hives live free, mine too. The alarm sounded, enemy ships dropped out of jump, 40 against 12. No chance in open fight. But the spire was strong, old, full of secrets. Laura smiled a hard smile. Come on then, she said to the dark. The warrior queen and her enemy-turned ally waited together. The battle for the spire began. The enemy ships filled the black sky like a storm of black shells. 40 against 12. No mercy waited. The Overmind wanted blood and silence. Laura stood on the command platform inside Zoroth 9's spire. Screens glowed around her. Red dots closed in slow and steady. She wore full armor now, black plates from human and Kavor tech mixed together. Her pistol hung at her hip. Her blade rested in its sheath. A small neural link sat behind her ear. It connected her to the spire's systems. She could feel the whole place like an extra body. Zoroth 9 stood beside her. The queen's spines glowed steady purple. No fear showed in her many eyes, only calm. They come in 3 waves, Laura said. First wave hits the outer defenses. We let them land. Then we close the traps. Second wave tries to break through. We hit them from hidden bays. Third wave is the flagship. That's where the Overmind's avatar waits. Zoroth 9 clicked once. My sisters are ready. Eggs are safe deep below. We fight until the end. Laura looked at her. No end today. We win today. The queen made a low sound, almost soft. Then let us begin. Alarms screamed. The first wave struck. Enemy ships fired green beams. The spire shook. Armor plates held. Small drones launched from hidden ports. They swarmed the attackers like angry insects. Some enemy ships burned. Others landed troops on the outer shell. Laura watched the feeds. Now. Zoroth 9 set the signal. Hidden doors opened. Spikes shot out from the spire walls. They punched through landing craft. Green fire bloomed. Warriors inside died before they could step out. The second wave came harder. Bigger ships, more troops. They cut holes in the shell. Kavor warriors poured inside, loyal to the Overmind. They moved fast on 6 legs. Blades glowed. Laura left the platform. She ran to the main corridor with 10 of Zoroth 9's best warriors. When the enemy reached the choke point, Laura gave the word. Lights died. Traps sprang. Floors opened. Spikes rose. Acid sprayed from walls. Screams filled the dark, clicking and human-like at the same time. Laura stepped forward. She fired clean shots. 1, 2, 3 enemies down. Her blade flashed next. She cut through armor. Green ichor splashed her faceplate. She kept moving. Behind her, Zoroth 9's warriors fought like family protecting home. They used every trick Laura had taught. Quick strikes, false retreats, ambushes. The corridor became a graveyard. But more came. Always more. Laura's side bled again. An old wound opened wider. She pressed a hand to it, kept going. The third wave arrived. The Overmind's flagship, a monster of spines and green veins, stopped at point-blank range. Its avatar prepared to board. A huge being made of living crystal and metal. The Overmind's mind in a body. Zorath 9 spoke through the link. The Avatar wants to take your mind. Mine too. Laura smiled thin. Then we meet it. They moved to the central chamber, the place where queens once spoke to the Overmind. Now it waited empty, except for the coming fight. The hull tore open above. The Avatar dropped down, tall, shining, eyes like cold stars. It carried no weapon, it did not need one. Its voice filled every mind. Traitor Queen, human worm, your end serves the whole. Laura stepped forward. Your whole dies with you. The Avatar raised a limb. Energy gathered, bright and deadly. Zorath 9 moved first. She leaped high. Her spine shot forward like spears. They struck the Avatar's chest. Crystal cracked. But the Avatar swung. It caught the Queen mid-air, threw her hard against the wall. Zorath 9 hit and fell. One limb bent wrong. Laura ran. She fired every shot in her pistol. Bullets sparked on crystal. No real damage. The Avatar turned to her. You break easy, human. Laura drops the empty pistol, drew her blade. Try me. It lunged. She rolled under, cut at a leg joint. Sparks flew. The Avatar stumbled. She climbed its back, drove the blade into a glowing core at its neck. The blade sank deep. Energy surged. Pain shot through her arm. She held on. The Avatar roared. It reached back, grabbed her, squeezed. Ribs cracked. Air left her lungs. But she twisted the blade harder. Zorath 9 rose, slow, hurt. She charged again. Her remaining spine stabbed into the Avatar's side. Together they pushed. The core cracked wider. Laura felt the link in her ear burn. She pushed her thoughts through it. Every plan, every trick, every human way of fighting unfair. The spire answered. All power flowed to the chamber. Vines from the walls wrapped the Avatar, pulled, held. The Avatar screamed in every mind. Then the core exploded in white light. Silence came after. The Avatar fell. Crystal shattered. Green light died. The Overmind's voice vanished from every hive. Laura dropped to the floor. She could not stand. Blood ran from her mouth. Zorath 9 limped to her side. The Queen lowered her head. It is done, she said. Laura coughed once. The fleets? Lost link. They stop. Some turn back. Some wait. The hives choose now. Laura closed her eyes for a second. The prisoners? Released. All of them. Ships already moved to human space. Your people go home. Laura opened her eyes, looked at the tall Queen. You kept your word. You kept yours. Laura reached up, touched one of Zorath 9's unbroken spines. Thank you. The Queen clicked soft. Rest, warrior Queen. Your war ends here. But Laura shook her head. Not yet. She forced herself up, leaned on the Queen. They walked to the command platform. Screens showed chaos turning to calm. Hives talked to each other. No Overmind to force them. Queens chose peace. Some chose distance. None chose war. A small scout ship waited at the spire dock, ready for one passenger. Laura looked at it, then at Zorath 9. You could come, she said. See Earth. See how humans live. Zorath 9's eyes brightened. One day, not today. My hive needs me. New queens must learn a new way. Laura nodded. She stepped toward the dock, stopped, turned back. If your people ever need help, call. I will answer. And if yours need help, Zorath 9 said, my lineage will remember. Laura walked to the scout. She climbed inside. The door closed. Engines hummed soft. The ship pulled away from the spire. Stars waited ahead. Behind her, the hive world turned slow, free. Months later on Earth, Laura stood in a quiet park. Grass under her feet, sun warm on her face. Her daughter, now a young woman, hugged her tight. Tears fell, words came slow. Laura looked up at the sky. Somewhere out there, a queen rebuilt her people, not as conquerors, as something new. The warrior queen had fallen in war, but she rose again, because sometimes survival means trusting the face you once hated most. And in that trust, both sides found a way to live. Word count 1215.